Here we are at belief number 5. At this point in the program, some people will see small changes, others will see bigger changes. But I promise you, the lack of self-confidence and the need to be accepted by others will be totally gone by the time you're done with this program. Remember, you have to do every step of the Let's Go belief process in order to eliminate each specific belief. This next belief, what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me, isn't as common as many of the ones you've eliminated so far. But it is one that a large number of people hold, and it is one of the beliefs that generally underlies a lack of self-confidence. It also is one of the most important beliefs that frequently leads to a concern with the opinion of others and doing things just to be accepted. Here's how we're going to identify this belief. Is it important to you that people like you? I think for most people the immediate answer would be yes. Some people, however, respond to this question by saying, I don't really care what people think about me at all. If that's you, you may think you don't care whether or not you're liked. But deep down, doesn't it honestly bother you if people don't like you or think well of you? Can you truly say it doesn't upset you, annoy you, or anger you at all when friends or other people don't include you in their activities or act unfriendly toward you? Have you ever done anything or decided not to do something based in part on what people would think of your actions? If you said yes, that's one sign you probably have this belief. Have you ever spent any time being upset about how someone treated you? If your answer is yes, that's another sign you probably have this belief. Do you consider yourself a people pleaser? Someone who sometimes says yes when you want to say no? Who defers too often to others? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you likely believe what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me. Don't you feel better about yourself when people like you or think well of you than when they don't? That's a result of this belief. There can be several beliefs that cause people to be concerned about what others think of them, but the single most important one is, what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me. You need to get rid of this belief in order to significantly reduce your concern with what others think of you. Remember, you can hold a belief that intellectually you don't think is true about you. Today as an adult, you may know that you don't have to have people think well of you in order to be good enough or important. But just knowing that isn't enough to eliminate the belief. Ultimately, the best way to know if you have this belief is the same way to know if you have any belief. Say the words out loud and pause for a moment. If the words feel true or produce a negative feeling, even a small one, you probably have the belief. Try it right now. Please say out loud, what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me. And then be still for a moment. Does it feel true? Do you resonate with the words at all? If so, you have the belief. You now know what it feels like to say these words when you have the belief. You'll say the same words out loud at the end of the process and will experience what the same words feel like when you no longer believe the statement. Okay then? Let's get rid of what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me. If you're absolutely certain that you don't have this belief, please click Next Belief and proceed to the next belief. If you have the belief, just let the program continue to play. Don't forget, though, that if you do have the belief, you could be missing out on the opportunity to get rid of it forever. And if you believe it even a little bit, and you don't get rid of it, it'll undercut your self-confidence and make it virtually impossible for you to get rid of your concern with what others think about you. My voice will now stop so you can write down this belief in the text box on your computer or monitor. Click Continue when you're ready to continue with the process to eliminate the belief, what makes me good enough or important is having people think well of me.